Dear viewers, good morning. Well, I am here with a new topic of English, that is about the models. You all of us know very well there are just two kinds of the auxiliaries. The first one is that primary auxiliaries and the second one is that model auxiliaries. So today I am here to make a discussion about the model auxiliaries. Model is a kind of a verb which uses for two purposes in the sentence. The first one, it uses for showing the tense, as well as it uses for specific purpose, for showing the possibility or desire of the future or suggestions and so on. So just before starting about the models, I will tell you some of the rulings which are just compulsory for using the models. Means whenever you are just using the model, so there are some rules which you will have to follow strongly. The rule number first is that model do not change according to number or person of the subject. Okay. For example, a verb can be changed according to number or person of the subject. For example, with he we use is, with I we use am, with they we use are. So here the verb is being changed according to the subject. Okay. And the second thing is that some of the time we write he does, and I do. So here do is being changed according to subject. But the model never change according to subject. If we are using the model can with I, so the same model will be used with he. Okay. So rule number first is that model do not change according to subject. The rule number second is that model always use with the main verb of the sentence. For example, if there are many verbs in the sentence, for example, he is going to school. So there is two verbs, is and going. Is the primary auxiliary and going is the main verb. So model will use with the main verb. It does not use with any another verb. Some more sentences are there where there is some more than two verbs, like I am going to teach. Okay. So the main verb in the sentence is that teach. Okay. So here the model used with the main verb. The rule number second. The rule number third is that model do not take ing and to is never used before the model. Means with the model we cannot use ing and to never comes before the model. The next rule is that model always use first form of the verb. Means with the model we cannot use any another form of the verb except to the first form. So these are four rules which we will have to follow strongly. The viewers or the students who are just watching my video for learning the presentation about the model, so I just would like to tell them how to make a presentation. The first one is that model is a verb which uses for showing the tense and specific purpose in the sentence. There are four rules for using the model. The rule number first is that model uses with main verb. The second one is that model uses with the main verb. Model do not change according to subject. Model do not take ing or to, and model always take first form of the verb. These are just the four rules which we must have to follow while using the models. The next is that the modal verbs. The modal verbs are, there are 12 modal verbs. These 12 modal verbs are can, could, may, might, should, must, ought to, need, dare, shall, will, and would. Total 12 models are there. The first one is can, could, may, might, 4 are there. Should, must, ought to, 7, and then need and dare, 9, and then would, and one more model is there, shall, will, and would. These are just total 12 models are there. So just I am starting about these models, that where these are just being used and how to use them. So first I will tell you about the first four models. The first four models are can, could, may, and might. Actually these four models uses for possibility. In Hindi it uses for can. In Hindi it uses for sakna. Okay. So whenever we are having the possibility, so we will use these four models. The first one is can, second one is could, third one is may, and fourth one is might. So what is the difference in these four? Because I have just told these all four models uses for possibility. So can uses for possibility in present. When we are just showing the possibility in present tense, there we will use can. The second one is could. Could uses for possibility in past. When we are just showing the possibility in past, so on there we will just use could. The next is that may and might. May uses for 5 conditions. The first one is for less possibility, Where there we are just not confirmed. We are little, we are having the possibility, but it's a little weak. We are having a little possibility. On there, we will just use may. The second use of the may uses for blessings and wishes, and may uses for seeking and granting permission. Five conditions are there. The first one is for seeking permission and granting permission. For example, whenever we want to go outside of the class, so how do I ask to the teacher, may I go out? When we are just trying to intern in the class, then how just we take the permission to our teachers, may I come in? So in these both of the conditions we are using may, because we are just seeking for the permission. So teacher also will reply, yes, you may come. Okay, so you may come. Why? Because teacher is granting the permission. So for seeking and granting permission, for blessings and wishes, two more conditions are there. May you long life. Okay, and the next is there for responsibility. If somebody is asking that will it rain today, so it may be. We are not confirmed because it is not in our hand. It may be or it may not be. So if we are not confirmed, we are having the less possibility or little possibility about it. So on there we will just may. The next is the use of might. Might uses for what could be done, but it could not. Okay. If we are using might in one sentence, so it will make two meaning on there. For example, if I am saying this, Sachin Tendulkar might play IPL 2026. What is the means of this sentence? I am speaking one sentence. Sachin Tendulkar might play IPL 2026. I am speaking only one sentence. Sachin Tendulkar IPL 2026 could play, but he did not play. The means of it will be there. Might uses for what could be, but did not. Okay. Next is the uses of should, must, and ought to. Should, must, and ought to. These three models uses for suggestion. Should uses for normal suggestion. We are suggesting someone, like we are suggesting to our friends, our younger brothers and sisters. So we use should. Must uses for suggestion with order. If we are suggesting someone as an order, okay, like teacher is suggesting to the students, so on there we will use must. And the third one is that ought to. Ought to uses for moral suggestion. When we are just showing the morality, on there we use ought to. Okay. Just next is that the uses of will and shall. These two models uses for showing the future tense. Shall uses for first person and will uses for rest of the subject. Means for first person we will use shall, and for rest of the subject we will use will. Now the next is that 9 model I have been told you. 3 more models are there. 3 models are there. Would. The first one is would. Would uses for next future. What is next future? Future, you all of us have heard present, past, and future. 3 kinds of the tenses are there. What is the one more tense, that is next future? No, it's not any specific types of the tense. Actually, the next future means, if I am saying that I will go to river, okay, I will go to river means in future I will go. Okay, I may go tomorrow, may go day after tomorrow, 3 days after 4 days. But if I am saying that I would go river, so I stand up and I start to travel for river. So this one is the difference between future and next future. So would uses for next future, first condition. Second, would also uses for showing the habit of the past. Okay, like I would not come, मैं नहीं आता. This one is just showing the habit of the past. Next is the use of need and dare. Need uses for necessity. When we are just having the necessary of something, on that condition we will use need. And the last one is dare. Dare uses for courage. Mostly you can see the uses of dare from the side of the girl. How dare you to touch me? So here she is asking about the courage. That how did he got the courage to touch her? So just the uses of need for necessity and courage for dare. Okay, it's all about the models. In the next video, I will have some more things related to models and tense, and it will just clear your concept. Thank you.